Welcome back, Flair community. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to be streaming for you guys today. So many legends already in the chat. Welcome. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Delegator rewards, Delegator incentives, and some of the considerations you should look for when making your delegation choice. So, first and foremost, let's look at this website here, Flairmetrics. Very great site indeed. In fact, let me just bring that up a little bit closer for you guys. I'd highly recommend this as an absolutely incredible starting point for anyone that wants to make a decision on where they should vote. Lots of great statistics here which you can base your information on. And most people generally just go like this, go to the reward rate and order there. And you can see that this value represents the reward for each epoch per 100 Songbird. So at the minute, we are only halfway through this epoch, and they've AFTSO topping the charts have already accumulated 1.453 worth of Songbird. Now this is going to increase until the epoch is over, and then when the epoch starts again, the next one, it's going to go back to 0 and then slowly climb back up. Now the main reason that actually prompted this video is, if you look here, we've got the fees 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, and then we come over to Sundara, which has recently just slashed their commission rate down by 90%, down to just 2%. So this is what prompted the video today. Sundara, I've got to give mad props for you, because you know, I was actually speaking with the developer of Sundara maybe a month or maybe 2 months ago, and he wanted to provide this service for free. Very generous, and you know, obviously there's operational costs involved, so he settled for 2%, which is 90% less than all other data providers or signal providers. Now, this is quite a bold move. He's the first one to take this step. And hey, Rob, much love, my friend, with the $5 Canadian. Thank you so much, Rob. I really do appreciate that. Very kind of you. Yeah, very much appreciated. Thank you. So we have this idea that a lot of the different signal providers are actually going to be competing. You know, he sort of opened up the floodgates. Now, this 20% is actually a default value. It's what's initially, I guess, like imposed for when you create a delegation service. This is just the default value, and Sundara here is the first delegator to change that. So stepping outside of the norm and trying to do something a little bit different. So I got to give mad props for that. Now, it's also a way for some of these signal providers that are lower down, the way that they can maybe try to accumulate more delegations by playing around with the commission rates. Now, obviously at the top here, AFTSO, they're earning so much that, you know, it maybe is feasible for them to get away with 20%, because 20% of a lot is much more than 1% of a little, I guess. So that's always interesting, but the something else that is actually important to consider, you can see the vote power here. And what does this mean? This refers to how many percent, the percentage of people that are delegating, how much of they get delegated to AFTSO. So 10%, almost 10% of the votes are going to AFTSO, 8 or 9% to Scandi nodes, 4, and you can see here, you can actually order them like this. So AFTSO is very much on the boundary. So for those of you who don't know, there is a 10% cap for delegation vote power. Well, I say that it's not necessarily true. The cap is unlimited. People can, they could have a much larger share. They could have 50% vote power, for example, but only 10% of the vote power will be considered with the time series oracle. And I did actually contact Tom, one of the members of the Flair team, and I basically asked him about this. He said it will affect the rewards for those who delegated to a capped provider by potentially diluting, lowering the rewards amount. So what does that mean? It means that if this value is over 10% and you delegate to that, your delegation is not going to be considered by the time series oracle. And it means that there's going to be the same amount of rewards, but it's going to be distributed amongst more people. Now you might be wondering why that is the case, and it's to avoid centralization, to be honest. So, you know, since AFTSO are doing so well, people might say, I want to vote with them because I want the most rewards. Now, if everyone did that, it would mean that they would have a very strong vote power, and it will just sort of be a snowball effect where they're able to get more rewards because the FTSO output will be closer to them because they have a bigger weight in the decision. So it's a way to prevent centralization. So that's why that's there. So if you are delegating to something which is 10% or more, just be wary that some of the additional delegations are not actually counted to the rewards, and you will effectively be diluting the reward pool. But in general, it looks like things are very well spaced out. You know, we've got many with the 2%, but there are still some big percentages missing, which is very interesting indeed. If you add all these up, they definitely don't add up to 100%. So some mystery service signal providers we are yet to see. But with that being said, you know, Sundara here, not many delegations, but I imagine this will certainly bring some attention and certainly shake up some of the other signal providers. So what else do we have going on here? One of the newer signal providers is Flairmetrics, and they're actually doing NFTs too. So this is a similar concept where you can begin to earn various NFTs based on your delegation. And this is just one example of the additional incentives that you can consider when you make your decision. Now, we also have something similar with Best FTSO, and there was this very first quest for the very early delegators, and this NFT in particular was selling recently as high as 3,000 Songbird, and I believe now it's selling at around 800 Songbird. So if you was basically to put this back into this NFT was gained off just one single epoch. So if you delegated, say, 800 Songbird and you sold the NFT and you got 800, it would mean that the reward rate would be 100. So that's pretty interesting as well. I thought I would mention that, and there is a competition on now for some of you guys to potentially win some of these. I've got 3 up for grabs. Now, finally, DeFi Oracles. Now, DeFi Oracles is the signal provider for Flare Finance, and even though I don't believe they're doing that great on the table, let me order it by reward really quick. Yeah, I believe they had a bad start, but still, they've got many delegations. And I think they're offering something which is very unique and something that I actually really like. Now, because Flare Finance have all of these different products as well as a signal provider, they can create this synergy. So if we look down here, where was I looking? Yes, this particular sentence here. DeFi Oracle pledges to allocate 100% of newly minted rewards, minus the cost of any operating costs, to locking up Songbird tokens on Flare loans, minting stable Canary Dollar, and locking up liquidity on Flairmetrics in the Songbird Canary Dollar liquidity pool. Now, I think this is a great move. I really do. You know, it's basically what they're saying is the rewards or the commission that they get from providing a signal provider service, they're going to use that to, I guess, bootstrap liquidity into Flairmetrics. So more liquidity means less less fees when transacting in this particular pool. And I think it's just a really great way to accelerate the growth of their platform. So all of these different considerations that you have, NFT rewards, you've got the various percentages which are surely due to change. I mean, this is just a bold move here, 90%. Yeah, kudos to you, my friend. So it's going to be interesting to see how this first change of the fees really shakes up the market and really sort of brings competition, I guess, competition between the signal providers, because as a delegator, that's what you want. You want them to be fighting for the less commission, or you want to be able to receive additional rewards for delegating your vote. So before we wrap up here, Decent Wallet are introducing the FTSO portal soon. I did actually receive a PDF of this service, and it looks really great. I'm going to be doing a future video or tutorial on how you can use this, and it's basically just a way that you can easily delegate using your Decent Wallet. Before we wrap up, I do have one more tab open, and that is this tab here, Bitrue, supporting the XFi airdrop to Songbird holders. Now, I love Bitrue Exchange, don't get me wrong, but I just want everyone to know, or to remind everyone of the exchange fiasco which many people have experienced when holding their XRP on an exchange which supported the Spark airdrop. So the best way that you can ensure that you get XFi tokens, even though Bitrue are supporting this airdrop, the best thing that you can do is hold them in a wallet which you own. And I can't stress that enough. I'll keep saying it. I'll say it many more times, or as many times as it needs to be said, just to remind everyone. You know, not your keys, not your crypto. It's not just a catchy slogan. It's legit. So, just something to consider. A short and sweet stream today. So I would just say a big thank you for everyone who has joined. And until next time, I'm out.
We have liftoff.